All right. Now, we will, as we said, be sharing a couple of new tools with you this day of your time in this transmission. We will offer you one experience, one version of this tool now, and we will offer you one a little bit later on in this transmission, in harmony and in sync with some light and sound vibrations. But first, allow yourselves to simply become very comfortable, relax, and open up the conduit of your imagination, which is the communication conduit to your higher mind. And in relaxing, allow yourself to image what we are about to say in your mind's eye. Now, imagine that you have a mirror. It can be large, small, separate from a wall. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you have the ability to look into this mirror, as long as the mirror has some kind of an edge. And imagine, thus then, that you are writing the number 11 on a piece of paper or any other medium that you wish, and you are thus placing this 11 in front of the mirror in such a manner that you can see both the one you've written on the paper and its reflection in the mirror, so that the paper and the reflection together show 1111. Thus then, once you have done that, allow yourself thus then to focus on this 1111, part in your reality, part in the mirror's reality. And allow yourself to feel vibrations, whatever the idea of the number of 11, whatever resonance you find works for you in your imagination, imbue and infuse the idea of the 11 on the paper with that frequency, and allow yourself to also imagine that the reflection in the mirror is also vibrating at that frequency. As you imagine that the vibratory frequency passes from the paper into the reflection in the mirror, you can also begin to imagine that the mirror itself is starting to vibrate at that frequency. And as you begin to imagine that the mirror itself is vibrating at that frequency, you can recognize that all it's doing is reflecting to you the frequency that is going on in your reality outside the mirror. So you have created a kind of vibratory feedback loop. The vibration in your reality, the vibration of the 11 on the paper, transferring to the reflection of the paper in the mirror, transferring to the mirror, which reflects back to you the same vibration. Round and round and round and round in a kind of a circular way. Just allow yourself to sit with this vibration, to sit in this vibration for a moment in your imagination and just feel it coursing through you. A nice, gentle, vibratory hum. Now, I am going to ask you to think about this mirror, to view this mirror in a different way than you normally view the idea of a mirror. We have talked about the idea of parallel realities. I am asking you now to do the following thing in your imagination. Imagine, if you are willing, to see the mirror not as a reflective surface of your reality, but see it as a window into an actual, real, parallel reality that exists at the same time as yours, in which there is an identical version of you doing exactly the same things you're doing at the same time. Look through it like a clear piece of glass that is not your reflection. It's another version of you in another reality looking back at you, doing exactly the same things at the same time, because these are parallel realities. Start to let this idea sink in that you're actually looking through a window, through a gateway, through an opening into an actual parallel reality with another version of you that just happens to be doing exactly the same things you are doing simultaneously. So if you touch your nose, so will that version of you in that reality. But it's not a reflection. They're just doing the same things at the same time and looking at you as if you are their reflection in their mirror. But as you begin to allow this concept that you're looking through a window instead of into a mirror to sink in, you can begin doing different things to watch the other you in the other reality that is a true autonomous being in its own reality, his or her reality. You can begin to do different things, touch your nose, touch your ear, touch your eye, make different faces, make different signs and symbols, and watch that version of you also doing the same things at the same time, because they, from their point of view, are doing those things in their mind first. And just watching you as the parallel reality to them, mimicking the same things at the same time, because you are their parallel reality. You are their reflection. Allow this idea to become more and more concrete, more real. Truly, truly, that is another person. Truly, truly, they just happen to be doing exactly what you're doing at the same time. Now, as you continue to do this, and as you continue to watch your parallel reality counterpart apparently choosing to do the same things at the same time that you are choosing to do them, now let your imagination create just one small, subtle, surprising difference. Maybe you touch your nose and maybe they touch their eye. Something is just slightly different than it was before. And you catch it. You catch the difference and you stop and you feel the shock wave go through you that this is truly a different reality, that the reflection is no longer identical. Similar, but not the same. And now you begin to amplify the idea that this is truly another person in another reality looking at you with what appears to be the same face, but it isn't yours, it's theirs. As you begin to experience more and more and more of the idea that they're doing things slightly differently than you, those differences can become more magnified. The lines, the parallel lines, in a sense, can begin to widen and diverge. So that even as you are watching, you are shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality to parallel reality, seeing different parallel realities through that glass, through that window, and seeing the subtle differences and then the greater differences that are happening in that world from yours. And you can even see the look of astonishment and surprise on the face of your parallel counterparts as they recognize that you are no longer their reflection, but a true being in another reality doing something that is similar but different from what they are doing. And you can begin to truly relate to one another as different aspects of the same soul, but in different realities, experiencing things somewhat simultaneously, somewhat similarly, but not the same. Thus then, as you create more and more differences, you can begin to realize that what you can do is send the vibratory energy of the 1111 gate into this scenario so that you are one of the ones in the 11 and he and she is one of the ones so that you each become the 11. One of the ones in the 11. You become each a tuning fork, each a parallel line to each other, and you resonate to each other in such a manner that as you send these waves back and forth through the window, back and forth to each other, you build up this energy in such a fashion that you can each start to imagine the reality you wish to see, you desire to see, you prefer to see yourself in that reality, in that parallel world. Build up this image, change this image, visualize this image of that parallel reality becoming, shifting to the ideal reality you prefer. See all the things happening in that reality through that window that are representative of the reality you prefer to experience and seeing yourself in that reality. through the auspices of this identical partner you have now created in this simultaneously coexisting parallel version of yourself in that reality, who is seeing the same things in you, seeing the realities they prefer. And as you allow yourself to allow the reality on the other side of the glass to become exactly representative, precisely representative of that reality you prefer to experience, and knowing that at the same time they are doing the same thing for themselves, feel the vibration of the 1111 gateway amplifying, connecting you, locking you together. Feel it magnify and amplify to a great degree the energy of excitement, the energy, the thrill of seeing that reality being lived, knowing it is real. And feel the vibrations of that reality and your reality now approaching the glass, approaching the glass, approaching the glass, until the glass vibrates and resonates. And then the vibrations from one reality to another cross. And you are hit with the frequency of that reality, and that version of you is hit with the frequency of their ideal reality on your side of the glass. And you exchange instantaneously those vibrations, those realities. Let them sink in. And as the vibrations once again settle down, harmonize, you go back to the idea of seeing the glass as a mirror, seeing it be a reflection, an actual reflection that is now a reflection of the ideal reality with you in it. It is truly your reflection, your reality, your vibration, harmonized, synchronized, locked as one parallel reality stream. Even as you know that your counterpart is now experiencing exactly the same thing on their side for their ideal reality vibration. And you have assisted each other, worked with a parallel reality counterpart to assist each other in strengthening, amplifying, magnifying, and locking in the vibration of the reality you prefer and doing the same for them. And let that vibration now be your vibration. Let it become familiar as your vibration. Let the reflection be your reality. Let it be a reflection of the true you. And look back down at the 11 reflection and the paper 11. And know that anytime you wish, as you pick up the paper with the 11 on it, and see yourself holding that 11 in the reflection of the mirror that reflects your new reality, anytime you wish, you can avail yourself of this permission slip, this tool, this exchange. Anytime you wish to fine-tune, refine any idea of better harmonization with that reality of your preference, you can always, once again, use that as the phone number of the parallel reality of your counterpart. Place it next to the mirror so you can see the 1111 in the reflection, and dial the number up once again, and know unerringly that your counterpart will always be there on the other side of the glass, on the other side of the window, because they're doing exactly the same thing at the same time, because they're there to help you as you are there to help them. And this is one way to allow yourself truly to experience the idea of cross-connecting energies between parallel reality selves to aid and assist each other in really truly becoming more and more of who you wish to be, who you prefer to be. This is one way to truly amplify, magnify, and lock in a relationship with yourself, a relationship of reflection, a relationship of willingness to be more and more of who you are by being of service to other counterparts and allowing them to become more and more of who they are at the same time. Take a deep breath in and lock this 11 energy within yourselves. It is yours to use. You are, in that sense, constantly shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality. You are parallel reality beings. That is your nature. You don't have to learn how to do it. You do it automatically. You just need to learn to guide it in the direction of your preferential vibration. It's as simple as that. Now, As we say later on in this transmission, we will use another variation of this particular permission slip exercise and create a slightly different kind of relationship, but we will surprise you with that later. In return for the gift that you are giving us in resonating with us in this gateway, this day of your time, we will thus then ask, in what way may we now be of service to you?
Let us thus then begin, first of all, by a little bit of a pre-experience, a pre-meditation, if you will. Relax. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And relax your body, relax your mind, relax your emotions, relax your soul. Relax your expectations, relax your assumptions. Right here, at least for right now, at least for this moment, you are free from worry, free from any concern, free from fear. And if fear comes up, just invite it in. Give it a place. Tell it to sit in the corner for a moment. That you'll deal with it in a moment. But for right now, you are giving yourself a little bit of a mini vacation. Take another deep breath. In and let it out. And feel all of the day melt away. Take another deep breath in and let it out. And just for a moment realize you have absolutely nothing in the world to be concerned about. You have right now no job to think about, no bills to pay, no worries, no deadlines. Just you. You're just here, right now, just for this moment. It's all right. The world will still be there when you open your eyes. But for right now, in this space, you are in a bubble reality, another reality. Take another deep breath in and let it out. And imagine, in whatever way, shape, or form works for your imagination, imagine your brain and see all the little neurological pathways. You can see them in any way, shape, or form you wish. You may see them as wiring. You may see them as fluid. You may see them as crystals. You may see them as a drawing. You may see them as a pattern of any kind of configuration whatsoever. But just know that that is representative of the idea of the pathways of your brain. And the pathways, like a computer program, in a sense, are representative of different ideas, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, definitions. This is, in a sense, a basic representation of the personality mask, the artificial personality construct that you use to explore the experience of physical reality. It is not really fundamentally who you are as a being, as a consciousness. It is a filtering system. Just in the same way that if you go diving in the sea, you bring along a mask or a snorkel or a diving tank, the idea of the neurological pathways of the brain, the antenna that receives the downloads from a higher mind, from non-physical reality, that creates the template of your physical experience, is simply such an artificial device to allow you to dive down into the experience vibrationally of physical reality and explore around for a while. So, the idea that we are going to be undertaking is to make sure that this diving mask is as clean and clear as it can be to give you an unobstructive view, as unobstructive as possible in physical reality. We're going to rewire to make sure that your breathing passage to the tube, snorkel, or tanks is clear, that your oxygen mixture is appropriate, that you won't get the bends. You will allow yourself to work with this template, however it presents itself to you. Sometimes it might even look like a map. Sometimes it might look like an abstract painting. It doesn't matter how it presents itself to you. Whatever way your imagination decides is correct. And even if it keeps changing, that's correct too. Because your imagination is keyed to your frequency, and whatever way it presents it is the correct way for you. So please don't judge it. Just let it be. Just play with it. Just work with it. Just make it your own. Just identify right now whatever way or ways that imagination presents to you the symbolic representation of the neurological pathways of your brain, and just look at that. Just sense it. Just feel it. Just turn it around. Hold it in your hand. Turn it upside down, inside out. If it is two-dimensional, fine. If it is three-dimensional, fine. If it is multidimensional, fine. Just look at it. Just examine it. Just realize this is your antenna. You will be working with this in new ways. Just for the fun of it, right now, in your imagination, take one neurological path, however it represents itself to you, reconnect it somewhere else. Now reconnect the same one somewhere else. And again, somewhere else. As you do this, be very, very quiet within yourself and just get a sensation of how that feels every time you do it. Just probe around. See what happens when you connect the neurological path here. Now see how it feels when you connect it there. See what happens. See if you have any other kinds of sensory experiences or feelings that come up, or ideas or inspirations that suddenly come to you, or images that present themselves unexpectedly, or memories that may come back in a sense. Just play around with that one circuit and just keep connecting it to different other nodal points, other places that you can connect it to. Keep redrawing it. And each time you do it, whatever pace is appropriate for you. You don't have to do it fast. You don't have to follow exactly the way we are saying it. But as you do it, just start to pay attention to the differences you experience when you do that. And if you seem to experience no difference at the moment, let that be all right as well. There is no wrong way to do this right now. But I guarantee you, even by doing this, you are doing something. You are starting the ball rolling. You are starting to unravel that ball of twine. And just by doing this right now, this little tiny exercise right now, you are going to make it easier for you to unlock from what you prefer to unlock from, and lock into what you prefer to lock into. But at the same time, you will retain a malleability, a flexibility, a plasticity unprecedented in your reality. You will know that you always have the ability, one way or the other, to rewire your neurological path to be more receptive as an antenna to the downloads from the higher mind. Your neurological path to be more receptive as an antenna to the downloads from the higher mind. That you have the ability to redraw the blueprint, to reorganize the template that you use upon which to build your physical reality experience. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And just connect that little pathway now to one last place. Find a place that feels comfortable, good, cozy, peaceful, warm, cool, loving, pretty, tasty. Whatever to you feels correct. And just leave it there for the moment. Breathe in one more time. And as you breathe out, let that neurological pathway begin to crystallize. Let it begin to hardwire into that wondrous place of perfect peace, harmony, joy, and love. Just that one little thread, that one little path, that one little string, that one little line, that one little wire. will now begin to make all the difference in the world, because as you reconnect it to that new place, it will now send new signals through that nodal point to other wires, which will allow them to begin to also restructure themselves at whatever pace is comfortable for you, so that you know that just by having done this one thing tonight, as we progress in this communication, slowly and silently beneath your skull, your brain will be changing in ways, rewiring itself in ways that will already become more conducive to self-revelation, self-awareness, self-love, self-validation. So just let that sink in. Take another deep breath and hold it, hold it, hold it, and blow it out. Open your eyes and just be aware that going on right now in your brain is the subtle yet profound process of rewiring as we continue this transmission. In return for the gift you have given us in co-creating